As I sit down to read through these stories from the subreddit Relationship Advice, I'm reminded that everyone's experience with love and heartache is unique, yet somehow universally relatable. Today, I'll be diving into the real-life tales of struggle and triumph shared by people just like you. Found my 24 female husband, 24 male, liking thirst traps on our wedding day. Hi, everyone. For context, my boyfriend and I were together 2 years and friends coworkers for a year before that. We weren't planning on getting married right now, but found ourselves forced to, due to citizenship problems that arose with our lovely new presidency. Like I mentioned, marriage wasn't in our plans, but we agreed that we loved and wanted to marry each other in the future anyway, and we didn't exactly have any other choice right now if we wanted to stay together. Please note, all throughout the relationship, I've never felt so fulfilled emotionally, spiritually, physically, etc. This man made me feel like soulmates existed. He pushed me to be a better human, and spoiled me, and genuinely had me feeling like life isn't worth living without him. Has never given me reason to suspect creeping on his part. We exchange phones without issue and know each other's passwords to everything, though it's not like we're the let me check your phone types. He makes me feel gorgeous, and frequently tells me he only has eyes for me. I don't have social media and he does, but it's never even crossed my mind that he'd talked to other girls there. We were coming back from a weekend getaway after getting married. He asked me to send a picture of someone with his phone, and as I was doing so, I saw a hot selfie of a girl I didn't know in the gallery preview. It was a fully clothed photo, but no face showing. Definitely a thirst trap. I wasn't expecting the worst still, so I asked him to open his gallery without giving a reason, and he got his phone to do it, but I saw him immediately trying to erase something. My stomach dropped. From there, he started apologizing when I called him out. He explained that a friend he recently reconnected with from his childhood sometimes sent him stories posts from girls they knew back then. Kind of like, hey, remember this girl? Look how hot she is now. Lame-ass excuse, because it didn't explain why it was saved to his phone. I asked him to show me the conversation, and he gave me his phone so I could search. It went back a few months, and yes, his friend sent him things, but my boyfriend was also sending them on his part, following those girls, and reacting to things sent. I felt so disgusted and betrayed, because the worst part is, the one he had most recently reacted to was on our own wedding day. I gave my boyfriend the ring back and left him at his place. He was crying and panicking, apologizing, saying it's the worst mistake of his life, that he was so stupid, and he would block everyone, and he loved me so much. I haven't been able to stop crying, and I genuinely have no idea what to do. I know it's not exactly cheating, but still, I feel disgusted, and I never saw this coming from him in a million years. Wed had such a fairy tale weekend. Such a fairy tale past couple of years, honestly. But we're married legally now. And even if I leave, I hold his citizenship future in this country in my hands. I don't know if I want him to be condemned to deportation because of this. Please, I'm just looking for advice on what anyone else would do in my position. I feel at a complete loss. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. He wasn't sorry when you didn't know. Remember that. Is he using you to be a US citizen? Yeah, the tears could be, because he's worried about being deported rather than losing OP. I mean, whether he's sorry about his relationship deportation is worth crying over. This happened to a woman in my town in the 1990s. It's a small town. He was out the door as soon as he was legal. He had a secret life. I was told by the gossipers, 'cause small towns have gossip armies, that he told her it happens all the time. That it's a regular scam they do to get citizenship, so they can get their real family's citizenship later on. Some of them even have wives and husbands in their home country. It's sad all these poor lonely people get used like that. This happened to me with my first husband, a Russian guy. We met in college, so it was very easy for everyone, myself included as well as the citizenship interviewer, to believe we'd founded a real relationship. He and his friends moved his stuff out while I was away visiting family and hid his whereabouts until the divorce was almost through. He was immediately in a relationship upon moving out with a woman from his country. They got married straight away. Mutual friends, originally his but closer to me since he was physically abusive, have since agreed he wanted the path to citizenship since getting it on Neb would be so difficult. This happened to a neighbor of mine and a neighbor of a friend. Second, They got the green card, they were out the door. Turned out they'd been cheating all along. And now for the next story. Is it shady that my F30 boyfriend, M42, has my name saved as a man's name? I recently found out my boyfriend saved my name as a man's name, and I'm wondering if I should be concerned. His good friend is a coworker, and I found out they used to have a thing 4 years ago. I also caught him in a lie. He told me him and said, "Friend, we're going to a concert," but I Googled the concert, and there was no concert. All these things are adding up, and I'm not sure if I'm being paranoid or I have sufficient reason. She picked him up from his place, and I have no clue where they even went since the concert didn't exist. And now for the next story. My 25 male wife, 25 female, had an emotional affair with my close friend, 27 male, and disrupted the friend group. My wife and I got married within the last year, after a very long relationship and friendship from adolescence. We moved across the country 3 years ago, got married shortly after, and have continued to grow our lives in this relatively new city. Around the middle of last year, we made several friends that were a tight-knit friend group, but welcomed us in with open arms. Very quickly, my wife and I felt entrenched in the group, and were thoroughly enjoying making memories with the group. We are all mid to late 20-year-olds with similar interests, and there was a lot of partying, open-mindedness, and even sex positivity. Like many friend groups, everyone had different individual friendships, and some were stronger than others. I grew a really close friendship with a guy. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan has a girlfriend, and they were major roles in the web of friends. Ryan and I were spending a lot of time together, becoming very close friends. Around mid-December, we were out drinking, and when the crowd dwindled, it ended up being me, my wife, Ryan, and another friend. Ryan often stayed out even though his girlfriend would go home and go to bed. That night, my wife seemed to be clearly flirting with Ryan. She was clearly drunk, and is already an affectionate drunk, but it was clearly inappropriate. I talked to her the next morning, and she apologized to me, and we talked about how disrespectful it was to Ryan and his girlfriend's relationship as well. We agreed that she owed him an apology as well for putting him in an uncomfortable situation. Another time when we hung out, she privately apologized, and nothing came out of it. We continued hanging out with those friends, growing closer and closer. We even all took a trip for New Year's together. By mid-January, life seemed to be going very well. I was making great friendships, including having a friendship I really valued with Ryan, considering how hard it is for men to have deep or vulnerable friendships. I felt happy with how my wife and I were. We were lacking intimacy a fair bit, which I recognized. But we were spending a lot of quality time, and didn't have any glaring issues. One night, she had a really rough conversation with me about how she felt that we were distant and highlighting the lack of intimacy. I could see where she was coming from, and mentioned I would be more intentional with intimacy and romance. The next day, we talked more about our marriage, and concluded that we wanted to try an open marriage. We have been together for so long. We talked about our mutual interests in dates and feeling something new in an open way. We had other friends in our group that were open and had positive experiences. After that night, I felt very excited for relationship and the new experiences it would foster. We have had a very vanilla sex life until then, so there was a lot of exciting conversations about new things to try. A couple of nights later, she was telling a lot of our friends about our new relationship dynamic. This wasn't too weird for me. It wasn't something I felt the need to hide, and I felt the group would be accepting of it. Still, it wasn't something I was going around telling people because my intention was to explore this dynamic separately from my friendship. A couple days later, Ryan and I were planning to hang out. Shortly after coming over, he had to leave for a moment, and my wife told me she had to talk to me. She explained to me that on the New Year's trip, a couple weeks back, she drunkenly told Ryan that she had a crush on him, and he expressed feelings to her back. She explained that nothing happened beyond that, but they also hung out twice privately since then, trying to figure out if this was something they needed to keep secret. She explained that Ryan told his girlfriend about everything that morning, and that she felt I needed to know now. When Ryan came back to my place, I told him that I didn't want to hang out anymore, and to go figure everything out with his girlfriend. Later, we found out that Ryan didn't tell the full truth to his girlfriend, and only said that my wife expressed feelings to him, but that he didn't reciprocate. The true full story come to light over the next couple of days, as me and Ryan's girlfriend also had conversations about everything that happened. It has been about 2 months now, and it has been incredibly difficult. From the initial moment, my wife was outcast from the group, while they continued to reach out to me and offer support. I've made it clear to a lot of people that my goal was to figure this out with my wife, however necessary with counseling and working through it. My wife struggles with me holding on to friendships from the Jupe, as she feels that they have abandoned her and outcast her disproportionately. Ryan was quickly welcomed back to group hangout. My wife's mental health has deteriorated from feelings of shame and abandonment with everything. She has apologized to me several times, although oftentimes her accountability seems to be shadowed by anger or frustration. I keep questioning if this will work out. I switch between thinking what happened wasn't a big deal to thinking it was a major betrayal of trust. What I struggle with more than anything is how she has been handling it. I sometimes feel like I can't talk to my friends because she doesn't like me being friends with people that hate her. Is this salvageable? Too long, didn't read. My wife had a crush on one of my closest friends who had a girlfriend we were also close with. She drunkenly told him, and he reciprocated. Since then, she was outcast from most of our mutual friends, and has been struggling to deal with the consequences. I am left struggling to know what's best for me. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. So 1. Ryan isn't your buddy. Dude spent private time with your wife. Secondly, your wife isn't truly sorry. I divorced the wife. That was basically cheating, and I'd probably cut it off from the friend group too. Why are they accepting Ryan back? Why is Ryan's girlfriend accepting him back? Yes, that's what I'd like to know. Open relationship or not, why would you want to remain married to someone who tries to bang your friends? Also, why would you want to remain friends with someone who tries to bang your wife? Here's the response from OP. Definitely not trying to remain friends with Ryan. That friendship was quickly ended. Mutual friends are the ones that are harder to let go. I appreciate hearing other people helping me see that the friends aren't really as good friends as they seem to be telling me when they comfort me. My personal experience was that I never trusted a cheater again. You can try, but the fact that they cheat is always there in the back of your mind. I found that once I couldn't trust them, I couldn't respect them. When I couldn't respect them, I couldn't love them. And that was that. The relationship was dead. Sooner or later you will just know whether staying is good or if you need to end the marriage. A lot of people try for about a year, and then they are just so emotionally exhausted, it is a relief to leave. I hope you find personal happiness. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.